Now the top story is IGL and the PNGRB notification. Thoughts on that from Mr. L. Mansingh, ex-chairman of PNGRB. Mr. Mansingh, markets are unhappy and they are a bit surprised of the PNGRB notification that they have reduced network charges and compensation tariffs for IGL by about 60%. What do you think prompted PNGRB to go ahead with such a move?
No, there is no, but there shouldn't have been any surprise about this order. This is one of the major statutory responsibilities of the regulator under the PNGRB Act. That is for determining transmission tariff. It is not about the tariff per se, but it is transmission tariff for use of you have invested capital and you incur O&M for maintaining the network. So on that, how much you should be charging the consumer for delivering the gas by using that network. That is all. And this is not a sudden order. This has been, the regulations were notified in March 2008. All the networks had been informed that till the tariff is officially determined by the regulator, they have to go according to the formula given in the regulation to determine their own tariff and to charge according to that, because when the regulator determined the tariff, it will have effect from the date of notification. Every network had been informed formally, so there is no surprise about it.
Mr. Mansingh, were companies like IGL clearly notified as per what you're saying about the quantum of the tariff hike?
Obviously, all the companies were not only notified, they were required to submit tariff determination proposals, which had been submitted by IGL. It was under process at various stages. IGL was, like any other, network, issues were raised, clarifications were asked, interaction was taking place, so everybody knew about it.
Mr. Mansingh, how do you think this move will be implemented with retrospect? Because 85% of the total IGL consumers are retail customers and 15% is only industrial.
No. There is no. Let me clarify. There is no retrospective implementation of the order. From the beginning, when the regulations were notified, it was made clear in that regulation that the tariff determined by the regulator, the transmission tariff determined by the regulator, will take effect from the date of notification. So that is what the order says, and the companies were to charge their own tariff, which would be adjusted after the regulator determined the tariff. So there is no retrospective implementation of the order as is being made out.
Mr. Mansingh, but do you fear that this is going to go on into, ongoing legal battle of sorts? Because most market participants do expect IGL to now obtain a stay order on the PNGRB action. That would be speculation on my part, because, whether they approach a court of law or I don't know, but the regulation is part of law. It is been enacted, notified under a Act of Parliament. The entity knew about it, was participating in the whole process. Now, merely because the tariff determination is not, not to your liking, you go to court of law. It is for you to judge, or the courts to interpret. I cannot speculate on that.
What about marketing margins? Will IGL be allowed to charge marketing margins as per the market policy?
No, the marketing under the Act, please appreciate that the Act does not give any power either to the government or to the regulator to determine market price at which the gas is marketed, let alone marketing margin. But there is a reference by the government to the regulator to determine what should be the marketing margin. That is a different exercise. It has nothing to do with the tariff determination order of the regulator. And how that, whether it is legally can be done or not, it is a debating issue that is going on separately. I would not like to comment on that at this stage.
Mr.
Now,
Mansingh,
as far as this tariff determination is concerned, the general expectation is that the temptation by the company would be to raise marketing margin to make good what it is losing on the transmission tariff. Now, let me tell you that there is a specific mandate to the regulator under Section 11A of the Act that the regulator shall ensure fair trade and competition amongst the entities to protect consumers' interests. So here is a case where, you have submitted a particular tariff to the regulator for its consideration. Regulator has not accepted it, has brought it down significantly. So if you start charging the consumer, that amount in the guise of marketing margin, if somebody complains under 11A to the regulator, the regulator is obliged to intervene and use its quasi-judicial powers.
Mr. Mansingh, what's the likelihood that this tariff umbrella would actually be extended to other gas utility companies besides IGL?
No, it is not IGL specific. Every gas distribution company authorized by the regulator or authorized by the central government prior to the PNGRB was constituted, and that authority having been accepted by the regulator, the tariff will be determined in a similar manner under the same regulation using the same formula. It is not IGL specific.
But are you absolutely certain, Mr. Mansingh, that IGL or for that matter any other gas utility company will not be forced to pay charges with retrospective effect?
No. It is not retrospective effect. All the companies... hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
All the companies were notified in 2009 that it is taking time because it is the first time that such an exercise was being carried out. It will take time for the regulator to determine the tariff, but the onus was on the companies concerned to work out the tariff as per the formula given in the tariff determination regulation, which would subsequently be adjusted as and when the regulator determined the tariff. This was formally communicated to all networks, including IGL. So now it is not a retrospective thing, but if you are charging much higher than what the formula allowed you to do, then the blame is with the company, not with the regulator.
Fair point. Which means in this case, IGL or for that matter Gujarat Gas, they will be asked to refund the money from 2009 April.
Definitely. Actually, from the date of regulation, but as the order indicates, for the sake of convenience, they have said 1st April 2008.